Welcome to the Honors Physics Curriculum Map for 2020 and 2021. The first page is basically showing you how the lessons are organized. So we have green is what we consider labs that you would have to have and do in class. Then you have the blue, which is your blended learning from the district. Yellow is your virtual things that you can do. Purple is more in-depth activities like STEM activities. And then we have orange, which is your article analysis. So the next slide that you have talks about what the rationale is. And then here is your student portfolio. What this is this is a portfolio that you will have for your students, and there will be certain things in it that you can choose to put in there. So if the State Department comes and sees. So the first thing that you have is you have a rubric that you have, and then throughout the map you will see this color here indicating article analysis. What we thought was that those article analysis would be good to use after we have a big, huge unit test. And then you can have them assign those and then have them do at a certain time. We didn't really give you a criteria of when you can, but you will see the links on there. The second component is a creative component, which we have I gave you 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of activities that I thought was really good, and you only have to choose one. And then your third one has to do with solving problems. And you will see throughout the pacing guide, it's all about problem solving, so you could just randomly pick those. This here is the course checklist with the implementation guide. The next one is the calendar, which is color-coded, showing you where the units are. So the way that we have done it with our map is we have designated that there is 5 days in a week. Now, I understand that there's not 5 days in the week on some of them, but I just want to make sure that you understand that this is set up for a 5-day consecutive schedule. So when you're looking at the time frame here of when this is, the way that we did it, just so we could keep saying, is that we did it as far as a physical week. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be exactly there, but you should be pretty close to within a week of being on pace. Now, on here, you have a comment section. That comment section is where you can go in and you can add comments that we can use next year to fix the map. And the next one there is just your table of contents, and this will actually give you back to the screen. The way this is set up is if you click this, it will take you to the slide that it's wanting you to look at. So it's a quick one where you don't have to physically go and roll down to every one. So they're linked in here. So if you wanted to go to a certain subject, you can click that and it will take you directly there. So the first thing that you see is the titles of each unit. So this is unit 1. You'll see we have 4 units. And also what you're going to see on here is where the curriculum map starts. So let me explain to you the curriculum map. So required investigations over here, most of them that you'll see is you will see a reading assignment and practice problems. And then on the top of every week, you will see this link here. And what this is where you will click this link and it will give you the answers to all of the practice problems that you have assigned during the week. What I did last year is especially when we went on virtual, I had them do the reading assignment and I had them do what's called a one-pager. That one-pager was where they took notes and they wrote down formulas and they wrote things, and then I had my students do the practice problems. I made a video of that and I put it online so they could see what my one-pager looked like, and they also saw me physically doing the math. You will see in the curriculum guide as you go through when I did that. Where are you going to find that? You're going to find that in the advanced prep notes. As you can see, like for week 6. Week 6 is where we started doing online learning. And so right here is a YouTube video. So if you clicked it, it will take you to my YouTube site. And here, it's going to pretty much show you how I did my videos. So on my video, I would go through the book. I would show them where my one pager was, and as you can tell, it is just basically the information. And then also what I did is I also included the math. And so what I would do there is I would go, and especially if it was a hard problem, I would go on the calculator and I would show them step by step on how to do the answer and how to get it. And so I have them here for you. Unfortunately, I don't have them until week 6, but this might be something that maybe you might want to be interested in doing, because I found out, even I'm going to use them again this year, so that my students have problems, they can go home and they can go and they can watch the video. Now, besides the requirement, like I said, over here is basically just going to give you the reading assignment with the pages and the practice problems. Here at the top is where you're going to have the link to your practice problems. An overview of this is just basically, if you click that, it's going to take you to a link. And on that link, it's going to actually show you the standards so that you can look on here to see what the standard says and what needs to be done. You'll have that on every unit. You also have a link here for the textbook PowerPoint. So if you wanted to go in here on the textbook and look at a PowerPoint, you could do that, and then you could modify it, you could change it, whatever you wanted to do. You might even want to assign that. It's up to you, but I wanted to make sure that you had that. Now, over here, as you can tell, with the additional information, and the study guides are here, and the last thing I want to talk about with this section is down here at the bottom. Down here at the bottom, you have 2 tests that the book made. As you can tell on the left-hand side, I'm just telling you to do a test. There's 2 different links here. Test 1A is the basic test. It is the test that I gave my honors class because it was just a general test. And as you can see, when you click on it, you will have your answer key. And then under there, you will actually have the physical test that you could print off, or you can download just the test itself, give it to them, and then they can do that. And so then that's test A, and then you'll see test B. And test B is an advanced test. So if you have students that are more advanced, that are really good in math, you could use this one. They're both really good tests. I started off with the advanced test first and found out that that was kind of hard for my students to do. And so then if I felt like they had enough time and they really understood the content, then they would have the B test. If not, I gave them the A test. Over here for the additional resources, all of these are the links to all the labs. And you can just choose one. If you want to do one, as you can tell, most through here, I did not put a certain one over, because I think that, you know your students and you know what they need and better than I do. So that's the reason why I did it that way. And then also on here on this side, you will also see links to tests, or better yet, quizzes. Some of them are online, like this one here. It's yellow. That's going to tell me they could go online and fill this out, and then it can grade it for you. And then that way that you don't have to do that. So that is pretty much the curriculum map. For the time that I have left, I would like to go, the other thing I want to talk about, is this. As you can see there's an orange here. This here is the article analysis. If you see, I think it is in the first unit, you will actually find the rubric This rubric here is something that I created. You don't have to use this rubric, but this is what I give my students to help them out. It just basically tells them just some information on what it should have, and then at the very bottom I have a rubric breaking down what I'm looking for that current event. And a lot of times what I do is I'll go and have this, and I'll print this out and cut it out and put it in my students' ISM book. So the last thing that I want to do is I want to get online. So once you sign in online, I want to show you some things first. The ebook section is just what it is. It's the ebook. You can look at the book online. You can look at things. The student premiere is where you have information for your students. Okay, so you have all these options, and when you open this up, you can go in here and you'll find the activities that I have put online for you already that I downloaded onto our share drive. And then you have the teacher premiere. The teacher premiere will have the just for the teachers with the answer keys and the labs and things. Things I want you to see is like the teaching material. If you look there, that's where I got all the textbook solutions at. And then another thing that I did, if you want to do an animation or simulations, that's where you go there. If you have some problems that you want to use, worksheets that you want to give them, on-job videos is kind of like relating to them why it's there. Engineering, practicing, and performance, those are more like STEM things. This is where I got the quizzes and tests from. These are where I got the labs from. Interactive review is where I actually got the online information. And then the last thing I want to show you is I want to show you this pull down menu. This pull down menu here is where you will select what chapter you're in. So example, if I wanted to go to chapter 9, here is the things that I have. I have quick lab, I have section 1, section 2, and the different types of things that you can do. So say I want to go into section 1, and then I want to go. Once I do that, then this is going to show me all the options that I have for that. I'm hoping that this helped you. My email address is msloan@Horry County Schools. So if you have any questions or problems, please feel free to text or email me, and I'll try to do the best to resolve. Remember, always make the comments of things that you think that I have a problem with so I can fix it for next year. And I hope you have a blessed day.